So in this video, we're going to talk about how you are already a genius creator. And I'm just going to simplify some things for you. And I think that I just forget that a lot of people don't automatically know this stuff. And this is something that I was just thinking about earlier today and realizing that I'm so lucky that I didn't have all of these things to watch on YouTube when I first started this, because I can see how confusing it would be if I was just starting out and there was all this junk out there, you know. And a lot of it is good, but a lot of it is opinions, you know, a lot of it is just a lot of information, right? So I can see how it could be extremely confusing to someone who was just starting out. So I'm gonna just remind you of something in this video that I feel like will help you remember your genius creatorship, because we're all actually genius creators because we've been doing this since we were born, right? And you know, we're all so good at this, but we have just covered up our ability with all of these limitations, right? So we're naturally just really good at this. And once you realize what I'm saying, it'll simplify everything for you a lot. And it might just be the key that you guys need to hear today. It's going to be a quick video. I just felt inspired to come on here and just tell you guys this. So I want to start out with a Rumi poem, or actually it's just a Rumi phrase that I remember from years and years and years ago, but I don't remember exactly. Maybe you guys can quote it exactly, but it was something to the effect that we are not searching for love. We are actually just simply busting down the barriers we have to love, right? So it's like, it's almost reminding us that, I love that quote, because, and I'm not saying it exactly correct, but if you know the quote I'm talking about, please, you know, list it below if you know it. But it basically gives us the idea that we are already love and we're already perfect, right? We're already love. We came from love, right? We will return to love, basically, right? We're just in these bodies for a little amount of time, and we actually are love. Like our the core of us, our one consciousness is actually love. So what happens is when we're young, right, we get all of these weird sort of limitations put on us, or these barriers we have basically to feeling love, to being love. We have, you know, our adults telling us you can't do that, or limitations that other people think, and we just stop believing, right? Or things we hear in the news, or things our teachers tell us, and we just keep building up all of these sort of barriers to love. And there, you can see them as barriers, or you can see them sort of like filters is another way to see it, right? It's like we have all of these sort of like, you know, plastered filters on how we perceive the world and what our beliefs are and all that. And that's literally basically taking us out of our core love and sort of blocking us from knowing and being that love that we were originally, right before we came here, and that we're going to be again once we leave. And the reason I know that so well is I've listened to so many NDEs. Do you know what NDEs just stands for near-death experiences, right? So I was just so curious about that when I was a kid, and I would listen to all these NDEs all the time. And it really is the feeling that every single one of these people describes is this beautiful, amazing love feeling that they almost can't even describe, right? It's almost, we don't even have words for it down here. It's like this immense love that these people feel when they transition, you know. I mean, these are NDEs, so they actually come back, right? They die and come back. But I just thought it was fascinating for me to study that, because I was always confused and never really knew. I didn't really grow up with any, you know, sort of religious background or anything like that, so I was very open to what's out there, and it was a scary thing for me, right, as a kid. So I really discovered that, and I'm just here to remind you that we know this innately, right? And when these people go across to the other land, you know, the other realm, they come back with this new enhanced feeling of love, because that's all there is over there, right? So we come from this place of love, we leave and go back to a place of love, and while we're here, we have all these occlusions to love, right? We, like I was saying, we have all these belief systems and these, you know, things that are impressed upon us for no real reason other than to just hinder us, right? And to keep us safe, right? I mean, these things are in our mind to keep us safe, and that's why we have trouble up-leveling sometimes or whatever. But I just wanted to say that it's not really about being a different you. It's, you know, when people say, oh, up-leveling and becoming new and becoming a different you, it's really just becoming who you really are. And I wanted to make that distinction because people sometimes feel unworthy, or they feel not good enough in the manifesting community, because they're always striving to be better. Like, I'm going to be a better me. I'm going to be a different version of me. But what's really going on, what's really going on, there's your confirmation. She's squirming. What's really going on is you are just simply being more of who you already are, okay? And that's the genius in this whole thing. You are just literally learning how to be more of you. And you're not really becoming a different you, you're just becoming more you, okay? You're releasing your limitations, you're releasing your blocks, and all of these, you know, off random, inappropriate ideas, right, that take you out of yourself. You're releasing all of those, and you're becoming more you. So it's just another way to look at it. And what it truly means is that we are actually at the core magical genius creators, right? Because we were just given this gift, and once we are clear and back to this loving space, we are that again, right? When we leave here from the earth and we become our spirit, our higher selves again, we just merge with our higher self, and we leave the body here, we become love again, right? We have all of our manifestation powers back again, but we can have them here, right? We can do that here. Like, it's not far off, and it is our core. It is who we actually are. It's the core of us. So it's not this thing you're learning or this thing you have to learn. You're already really, really good at this. The only thing that is required of us in this human body is just to, you know, break through and bust through all the stuff that's preventing us from feeling that core of who we are, which is love, right? So it's just a simple way of making it, of describing it, and really being, and I just feel like everyone should really know this, and it just helps me to remind myself of this too. And it's just so simple that we sometimes don't even think about it, or we don't even want to grasp it, and we'd rather listen to millions of videos and do tons of techniques and get all lost in all this information, right? But the core of this stuff is so simple, and it's so easy to be a genius creator because you already are one, right? You just relearning what you already know, right? You already know this stuff. And if you would just stop watching videos, like when I first started doing this, there were no videos. There might have been a few Abraham Hicks videos out at the time, but this was a while ago, right? I was like a kid still, basically. And when I started doing this, there was nothing really on YouTube to watch, which I'm really grateful for, because I would have just been confused, you know, and it's too much information for me to really find my own genius. So this is just encouraging you to explore what works for you, and just remember that you are your own genius. And I would even venture to say we're all even more genius than Neville, right? Because we've all expanded since then. We've all become more, like we've called more into our beings, right? So we have Neville, but we even have more than that now, right? We have our own unique individual ways of doing things, right? And we were born knowing this stuff. So it's just about getting back to that place and getting back to the place of love and letting go of everything else, you know? And once you're doing that, manifestation is so easy. Like it's just so innate within us. It's so true to who we really are. It's all that we are. This is who we are, right? It's the core of us. This is just so innate to our core that that trying to put all these rules on it and watching all this information is almost takes us out of who we really are, if that makes sense. And at least that's the way I think of it. And I see all these people getting confused, you know, and I just wanted to make this video because it's really about getting back to being who you really are and just following your own guidance and knowing that you know this stuff already and just trusting yourself and trusting that you know this stuff. You don't need more information. You can just feel into it and do what you want to do, right? And whatever you're doing is the right thing to do. As long as you're releasing what's not you, you're on the right track, right? And we're constantly doing this. This is like the process that I'm on, you're on, everyone's on. And they may not see it this simply, but it is this simple, right? You're just releasing what's not love and becoming more of who you really are. And I just wanted to make that little quick thing for you guys. If you love this, thumbs me up. If you love Neville transformation and changing your life and my unique perspective, stick around. I'd love to have you. I'm doing the brain videos next, so stick around. Bye guys.